Many different ways. This could have been played.
Good evening, everyone. I have 5 o'clock on my phone, so we're going to go ahead and call ourselves to order. If everyone rise and join me in a moment of silence. Join me in the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you all. Please be seated. We will call our roll. Dr. O'Neill. Present. Mr. Heater.
Present.
Mrs. Barnes-Griffin is absent. Is she coming? No, she's out tonight. Dr. Washburn?
Here.
Mr. Irvin?
Here.
Mr. Webb?
Here.
Thank you all. And I believe we have tonight in the spotlight the Muncie Area Career Center. So, Mr. Beasley, you are up.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Thank you for allowing me a few minutes to share about the great things happening at the Muncie Area Career Center. Before I get into the regular presentation, I would like to invite a couple of our students up, Noemi Galan and Julio Rodriguez. So, Noemi, I brought the chair in case it's easier for you to sit. I know you're still recovering there.
Caleb, I can't.
Yes.
I'm having trouble hearing anymore. Could you repeat her first name?
Noemi.
Noemi.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, thank you.
And so Noemi and Julio are both juniors from Muncie Central High School, and they're also Career Center students. Noemi's in our Dental Careers program, and Julio is in our Software Development program. And I asked them to be here tonight because they did something recently that I think is really deserving of public recognition and celebration. And so I'm going to do my best to tell the story of what happened, but I invite Noemi and Julio to just interrupt me if I get anything wrong, or maybe at the end correct the record. And of course, board, if you guys have any questions or want to discuss anything with the kids, I'm sure that's welcome as well. I know they do need to leave shortly after we finish because I think there's a practice to be gotten to, so we want to make sure we do that. So a week before spring break, Noemi and Julio had just returned from lunch with Julio's family. And when they got out of their car, a gentleman down the road was calling for someone to call 911 and asking for help, saying that his friend who had been driving their vehicle was unconscious. Now, at first, Noemi and Julio were not quite sure if this was legit or is this some kind of prank. Does someone have a camera somewhere and they're trying to catch how we react? But they did soon realize that this was indeed an emergency. And these two young people went to the vehicle. Noemi quickly assessed that the driver of the vehicle was turning blue and was unresponsive. While Julio called 911, Noemi directed the driver's friend to help get the driver out of the vehicle and on the ground so that she could start CPR. Noemi started chest compressions as soon as she could, and she counted her compressions as she had been trained to do. She also made sure that the chest compressions were going deep enough to be effective. Julio knelt down beside her and stayed on the phone with 911 while they counted their compressions out so that the emergency dispatchers could track the intervention. As Noemi continued, she could see a bit of color come back to the gentleman's face, and when the ambulance arrived, they were able to turn the patient over to the EMTs who rushed him to the hospital. To the best of our knowledge, which is limited due to patient privacy regulations and protocols, the gentleman was treated at a local hospital, and he has survived. And again, I just wanted to take this opportunity to recognize Noemi and Julio for their courage and composure in a high-pressure situation, and also for their willingness to help a neighbor and a stranger in need. So if we could, maybe just give these folks a round of applause. So they're very modest about this sort of thing, of course, and I know that they're probably not like ready for a grilling. But if anyone has any questions or anything else that you want to say, that's fine. But we also know they've got some work to do,
Julio,
so.
you're a junior
Yes,
in software design?
yes.
You want to, what do you want to do? Design
So-
games or?
We do coding there, but I wanted to take a sec to thank the MAC staff and everyone here at the Monte Air Career Center for making this possible for us to even learn those skills and even learn how to produce those out. And if we weren't here at the MAC, we wouldn't have learned those skills to perform CPR or even know what to do in that situation. So I just wanted to thank Mr. Beasley and Mrs. Ward for allowing this to be possible and allowing us to come to the MAC.
Yeah, well, that's wonderful.
Yeah, really appreciate you saying that, Julio. And yeah, thank you, Julio, for saying that. So we are very fortunate on our staff. We do have 3 trained CPR instructors, and I think for your session, it was Mrs. Carolyn Brown, our dental careers instructor, and Mr. Chris Horner, who teaches in our fire and rescue and EMT
Wow.
program. So they were trained by 2 very, very qualified individuals and clearly did a good job. When Noemi was relaying the story in a bit more detail than I shared with you tonight, I mean, it's a scary, intense situation, but it was clear that she really had the presence of mind and was thinking about, am I doing this the right way? And made sure that she was doing it the right way to make sure that it was effective. And so just very proud of both of them for what they did and the difference that it made in this gentleman's life. So thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, remarkable. Remarkable. Just, I can't imagine having the presence of mind to do that, so.
It was really quick. At first, like, I was kind of, like, skeptical if it was real or not.
Mhm.
But as, like, the passenger, like, went around to the driver's side, because it was the driver who had, the incident. I'm not really sure what it was specifically that happened. His friend was suggesting that it was, like, possibly a heart attack, but I'm not sure. But as he, like, went on to the driver's side, he was like, yeah, he's turning colors. And then I was like, is he breathing? And he's like, no, he's not breathing at all. I was like, oh, yeah. So I went over there and I told him to, like, get him out on the ground because I was not going to do CPR when he was sitting up. And his, like, partner friend kind of had a bit of an attitude, like, why do I need to get him on the ground? He's like, because I need to do CPR. And then he was kind of, I think, like, he was just kind of in shock because of, like, the whole incident and stuff, and it was really quick. And so he just kind of, like, froze. So I was like, all right, gotta do this myself. And I go to the driver's side, and he was a heavier set guy, so I was like, okay, this is gonna be harder than my shot. And so I tried, like, grabbing his legs and, like, squeezing him over to possibly, like, drag him out of the mix a little bit. And then I think, like, once his friend seen that I was struggling, he finally, like, registered the fact that this was actually happening. So then he got his friend out, and I immediately started performing CPR after I felt that there was no pulse or anything. So I just repeated that whole, like, session that I learned CPR on mannequin. It's not the same. And when I was, like, the first few compressions I did, I wasn't, like, receiving that click of the sternum back. So I was like, where's that click that I was feeling on the mannequin? So I made sure that, like, my elbows and my shoulders were, like, locked in. And I went a little bit, like, deeper into the compression, and finally I was receiving that, like, click, and I was like, all right, we're getting somewhere now. And, like I said, he was, like, he was really blue when he came out of the car. And he was a person of color, so, like, I was like, oh my gosh, this is blue, and he's a person of color, this is bad. And I just immediately started performing CPR. He stayed on the phone with 911, helped me count compressions because I was getting out of breath. I was like, all right, I'm tired now. And then the ambulance finally came over, and all I, like, seen at the very end was that they were getting me shots, and I didn't know anything after that. I talked to the police afterwards, but they didn't know anything either. So.
Well, that's remarkable. Thank you so much, both of you.
Thank you guys. Appreciate you coming out tonight. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, of course. Yeah. Good.
Thank you all for your time today.
Oh, my goodness, our pleasure. It's a privilege.
All right, you all have a nice night.
You do the same.
Thank you, Noemi.
All right,
Thanks.
bye.
So I know all of you know, and everyone in our schools know that just the kids really make it all worth it. And, this kind of story, I think, helped bring me, our whole staff, even other students, because we've shared that experience with other students as well, back to, why we do what we do. And also just how grateful we are and how proud we are of our kids for all that they do. So yeah, that's kind of the peak of the presentation right there. We thought we'd just get it out of the way early, so it's not going to be quite as exciting moving forward, but I will do my best to keep your attention. So, at the Career Center, I like to just kind of start with just an overview of kind of what we do. So there's kind of two sides to the Career Center. There's Career and Technical Education, or CTE, as high school juniors and seniors studying in specific career pathways. And then we also have adult education programs where we do high school equivalency, and we also do English language learners, classes for ELL adults learners, and then also some career certification and training programs that we have on the adult ed side. I'm going to talk a little bit about both sides of the MAC tonight. So just quick information about the Career Center up here. Obviously, see we have 16 career pathways. In all of the pathways, we're excited this year. We've actually finally gotten to the point working with our post-secondary partners. Vincennes and especially Ivy Tech is a great post-secondary partner for us, opening up those college credit opportunities for our students. So this year, for the first time since I've been here, we are at a point where in every first-year pathway, students have the opportunity to earn up to 9 college credits, in some cases more than that. You see that 10 pathways offer students the opportunity to earn either a certificate or a technical certificate from a post-secondary institution, in most cases, Ivy Tech Community College. I know this year we will have, I think, 168 of our students from the Career Center will be recognized at Ivy Tech's commencement on May 10th as attaining a certificate or a technical certificate through their MAC program. So we're very pleased that we've been able to make that much progress in terms of what we're able to offer students. And then, of course, that last piece there is that we have, many of our students, they participate in extended internships and work-based learning experiences. A couple students, I didn't ask them permission to bring their names up, so I won't bring their names up, but I'll just talk briefly about a couple of students. We do have one young man this year he's a second-year electrical student, and he started in the fall with an internship with Titan Electric. In December, this young man, he finished all of his classes at the high school. He's a Muncie Central student. Finished all of his classes at the high school, so he's got all his credits under his belt. He's still enrolled in our program. But Titan asked if they could turn that internship, if they could just hire him and bring him on board. And so their plan is he's hired now, he's been working with them. He still comes here 2 afternoons a week to take his classes over at Ivy Tech. But he's hired with them now, working with Titan, and looks to start in their apprenticeship track at the end of this year. So very excited about that kind of opportunity. We've had students who have really gone out and done great work. We've opened up some new opportunities with the medical assisting program. With partners, we have great partners with Open Door, with IU Health, and students have been getting out there into those experiences and really making an impact. Our CNA students are testing right now. They're doing their state certification testing. And a really cool thing about that is these are juniors who come in. I mean, some of these kids are 16, 17 years old. They go out and they do their internships. We have a number of students every year, and this happens consistently, who get hired while they're doing their internships. They actually get hired, start coming on board and working as CNAs. And then continue to do that even while they continue in the second-year program and finish that up. So those work-based learning and internship experiences are outstanding for our students, and really appreciate all of the work that our teachers and staff put into making them happen. Because really we believe firmly, especially with CTE, right, that hands-on learning and as much as possible the real-world learning, it has the biggest impact on our kids and really helps them grow into great young adults. Just enrollment trends, so try to show everyone where we are each year. So last year we got over the 400 mark and we stayed over 400 this year. I think we do, as when I made this presentation, on April 1st, we have 572 applicants for next school year. We don't anticipate we will end with that number of students, but we do think that, my personal goal, and I hate saying it out loud because it makes me feel like, hey, you're kind of jinxing it, but I would love to be in the fall at 500 plus students at the Career Center. And again, that's a testament to the students who have come through and done a great job in our programs, also to our staff and our teachers who just do an outstanding work with our kids every day. And also I want to shout out our school partners. So we partner with 12 high schools. So I really want to give credit to the high school, the teachers and the school counselors and the administrators You know, our motto here in Muncie Community Schools, placing learners first. I feel very fortunate to work with all of those partners because I think everyone in those schools, they're placing kids first and they're thinking about what's best for kids, and I really appreciate all those great partnerships.
Caleb, do those
Yes.
numbers, the over 400, does that include the adult ed?
No,
Program.
yeah, adult ed is a completely separate program, yeah.
Okay.
Speaking of adult ed, I'll jump in a little bit and kind of give you an overview of what we do with adult education, because this is kind of a, you know, we're not trying to keep it a secret. Really, we want more people to know about what we offer with adult education. You know, we're known for high school equivalency. That is the bulk of our adult program, where we devote most of our resources. So if you look over on the left here, the community base, what this means is out in the community, classes that are available to adult learners. We offer them in Hartford City. We're also in Winchester. We have them here at the Career Center. We also offer classes at the YOC, and this spring we opened up a limited class, but with the Ross Community Center, which is not too far from here. We also have classes for high school equivalency in corrections environments. So we are in the Delaware County Jail. We are in the Randolph County Jail. And we actually do high school equivalency testing in those jails. So we graduate every year. We graduate individuals who are inmates in those facilities with the hopes, obviously, that when they're released, they will be able to engage in the workforce and be productive. And then we have our ELL classes. So Ross Community Center has been a great partner this year, especially opening up, helping us to recruit new students into that program. And our teacher on that side does an outstanding job with our English language learning adults. And then we have those career certification programs. So this year, I believe it was this fall, we started a clinical medical assistant. Gina Phillips, who actually teaches on the CTE side during the day. She teaches our Health Science 2 program where we do medical assisting. We've opened up this program for adults. We have several employer partners such as Open Door, Meridian, and other local healthcare providers, where a lot of times what they're doing is they are referring their current employees to us to get upskilled and certified as a medical assistant. And that's been a very successful program. We also do the Child Development Associate or CDA program, partnering with local child care centers, also Muncie Community Schools and other school districts that offer pre-K. They will send staff to our CDA program so we can get them trained and certified. And then we have a welding program that's offered through a partnership with Ivy Tech. That focuses on AWS, MIG welding certifications. This year, we've also added a component to that adult program where adult learners can actually get direct entry and even advanced credit in the Millwrights Union Apprenticeship Program. And so I know we have one student this spring who's going through that. So we hope that individual is successful. He'll actually finish that program, go right into the apprenticeship program, but have a year under his belt already after just completing 8 weeks with us. And then we do Parapro for folks who work in the schools. We do ServSafe. That's for folks who are working obviously in restaurants, and customer service and sales for folks working in retail. And then we also have an HVAC program. So we do that. That's more of a limited enrollment program, but we do have an HVAC program that provides folks with those foundational skills and certifications to become an HVAC professional.
Caleb, do you know if you focus on the direct digital controls under HVAC, more computerized based?
I do not know that.
Okay.
Yeah, I could
Kind of
find
where
that
the
out, but I do
market's
not know.
going.
Yeah.
Thanks.
And then want to just say, we did a press release earlier this year on this, but I wanted to point out our adult education program, due to the hard work of our teachers and staff, they were recognized by Department of Workforce Development as a program of excellence here in the state of Indiana. And they were recognized by that for consistently meeting goals. The two main goal areas for us are increasing enrollment year after year, which we have done successfully, and then also meeting our measurable skills gain goal. Measurable skills gain, basically it is a data point that captures an adult learner has attained some sort of objective skill gain. That could be they've attained their high school equivalency. It could be based on standardized assessments. Their reading skills are increasing, their math skills are increasing, things like that. A career certification, all that sort of stuff. So we're getting more students, and we continue to be successful with those students, getting them to their adult learning goals. Coming up, so this spring, would love to, anyone who wants to come, we would love to have you. These are kind of our two big culminating events for the school year. So on Thursday, May 15th, we'll be in the Muncie Central High School auditorium for adult ed graduation. It's always a really fun celebration of the achievements of our students. Kind of the centerpiece of that graduation ceremony is always, we'll have 3 or 4 student speakers where they really are the keynotes. And so we are excited that and would love to have everyone there for adult ed graduation. And then on Thursday, May 22nd, we are going to do CTE recognition and signing day. We plan to do that in the Muncie Fieldhouse, and that will be during the school day. So historically, we've done a CTE recognition night, but at the end of the school year especially, we find that a lot of students from our 12 sending high schools have a hard time getting back. Some have practices. That's also open house season for our seniors. So we're doing it during the school day, and again, we'd love to have folks there. It'll be a combination. We'll do all of our recognitions and awards, and we'll also be inviting all of our post-secondary partners as well as employers who are hiring our students, different union and apprenticeship programs who are bringing our students in. They'll be there to also do signing day with our kids in that event. So again, everyone is invited. We would love to have you there. I think that's all I have. I probably went over time, but I blame Noemi and Julio for that.
Okay, Caleb, quick question. Are you having trouble in any particular discipline with finding internships for some of your students?
Yeah, we always need help. Yes.
Need help,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, I would say so we have some established programs. So health science, dental careers, we've been doing internships. Early childhood's another one. We've been doing internships for a long time and we're not really having trouble. We have just great partnerships built and those teachers do an outstanding job with those. But yes, we are trying to expand internships. Automotive, next year we would so HVAC, this was the first year for our HVAC program for high school kids. Next year we would love to have more internship opportunities in HVAC. We'll also have more opportunities on the manufacturing side. Electrical is always an area we'll be looking for students. So yeah, we're always looking for more partners to come to the table. Yeah.
Caleb, you talk about building trades. Do I understand that we're going to participate with Habitat to build a house this year?
So I don't think I'm supposed to say anything
Okay.
official.
Okay.
We are in conversations with Habitat and we're very excited about that possibility. Obviously,
Yeah.
Habitat's a wonderful organization, does a lot of great here in our community.
Yeah.
And so we definitely look forward to that opportunity.
Yeah, I didn't mean to put you on the
No, it's
spot.
okay.
I know that's in the works,
Yes.
and that hasn't happened before.
Right.
That
right,
would be
it
a
is not.
first-time
Right,
thing,
yeah,
so.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think there's excitement on both sides, so
Yep.
that's good.
Yeah, and it's exciting for us. So we used to partner with another nonprofit here in Muncie, and that changed. That opportunity kind of went away a few years ago. Since then, Mr. Penrod and our carpentry team have done a great job of finding opportunities. But we are eager to be able to reinvest those energies here in Muncie with a local nonprofit doing good work just like Habitat.
Well, it needs to make sense, so
Yeah.
but thank you
Yeah.
for the
Yeah.
consideration.
Yeah.
I think it's great.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Any additional questions for Mr. Beasley?
If I could just share, Mr. Beasley and Ms. Ward do a fantastic job, as you all know. It is without fail the area superintendents that send kids to our programs and trust with these folks are always complimentary of how well the programs are ran and monitored, and the communication from these two guys is just outstanding. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Do you need any assistance with marketing your programming?
So a couple things. I'm glad you asked that. We actually have some things in the works already that are really exciting. One's going to focus on early childhood, and that's through a local grant through the Community Foundation and other local partners through the Funders Forum. And so that's going to be focused on early childhood pathways. And then Ball Brothers Foundation has also through their annual grant, we have some funds available where we can do some more marketing and try and get the word out a bit better.
So any of your students in any of the programming going on then to say, for example, the building trades going to Purdue or any place else that you're aware of?
Specifically to Purdue or to other schools?
Any other
Yeah,
schools?
yeah. I mean, every year we have students who go to Ball State, go to IU, go to Ivy Tech. I mean, go to all kinds of different colleges and universities. And right now, so we're in our career development workshop phase right now. So this month, we're doing resumes, we're doing mock interviews with our students. And part of that is also every senior will develop a career action plan. Really, they've already kind of done the front end of that work. But we will go through and confirm with them before graduation, here's your plan for where you're going next to make sure they know how to take that next step with some confidence.
So if you had any interest, Ms. Ward had any interest in putting together a schedule of, say, field trips to various campuses, get in touch with me.
Okay, okay,
I have some thoughts on how to fund that.
okay, great.
And I think, if you can
Be
get
awesome.
some of these students on campus, that's helpful.
Yeah, I agree.
Adult education, any problems marketing that? How many graduates are you gonna have this?
So off the top of my head, the graduates number, I want to say right now we're at maybe between 35 and 40 high school equivalency graduates, and then we'll have more career certification graduates than that. Marketing, is always a priority for that group. I mean, most of our referrals honestly come through word of mouth, local agencies and organizations that we partner with. Eastern Indiana Works is a great partner for us to refer students to us. But I'd say, and we have a small marketing budget written into our grant, but it is pretty modest. And so we use that kind of as strategically as we can to get the word out. But yes, I'd say.
Well, again, if you want to put together a proposal for marketing for any one of your programs or all of them, and get that to me, I can probably find some of that money.
Okay, great. I really appreciate that. That's awesome.
Any other questions?
Quick clarification, Kate. You said 12 high schools around the area. That would suggest you're really reaching out to other counties surrounding us.
Yeah, so we have 8 high schools here in Delaware County, and then we go to Monroe Central, Winchester, and Union City in Randolph County, and then also Blackford High School sends kids to the Career Center as well. So it's a lot. Yeah. But like I said earlier, I mean, the partnerships really help. And again, we've got great people at every school. They see the value of career and technical education, and they do a great job of making sure that the opportunity is available to their kids. So, and also I'll say too, I mean, the high schools are doing, some of their own programming as well. I think CTE is really kind of in the midst of a bit of a resurgence, and across the state. And I think that's all positive. And I think we're finding that there's a demand for it from students, right? Whether it's here or at the high schools, kids want to learn this way. And so we're excited to just be a part of it.
Any additional questions? If you need anything, let us know.
All right, we'll do.
Thank you, Caleb.
Thank you.
Dr. Reynolds?
Yeah, I see a kiddo in our audience tonight that is being extra good, so I'm gonna keep it extra quick for her to make it and continue extra good, being that good out there. So I do have a few things for you tonight. Want to have some celebrations. As I mentioned at our last meeting, the Winter Color Guard competed at state finals the first Saturday of spring break, and had a wonderful show, and they were ninth. The indoor percussion in their second season out competed at the indoor Class A state championship concert finals, and they were the state champions.
Wow.
So I hope to bring them into the next meeting and recognize them. Only their second year of existence in our corporation, so just a tremendous accomplishment by those kids and staff. Saturday, in the midst of our closures and delays, our choirs performed, our top Northside Middle School choir performed at the ISMA State contest. They compete in the highest, most difficult division, received a gold rating with distinction, which is the highest honor you can get. So kudos to Northside and to those kids and that staff. I would like to have a special thank you to our parents and our students who helped us weather the storm the last week and do some very quick changes that we needed to go to accommodate the loss of power in some of our buildings. So lots of people worked really hard to get us up and ready to go at 2 of the schools the next day, and then the north side took a little extra day, which caused a few more issues, but our food service folks and our SSC people just jumped on board and made sure that things were ready to go when kids returned on Monday at Northside. Strategic planning, we are down to our last listen and learn session. It's going to be April 15th at 5 o'clock at Northside Middle School. We've had good attendance to the previous 2 and look forward to talking to families and community partners about our strategic plans and next steps. Enrollment opened on Monday. I know it's hard to believe, but enrollment opened, so parents can now get online and fill out those forms, update any of those forms that they need to for next school year. Really a pretty smooth process once you get into the system. So if you need help getting into the system, every school can help you out. If you show up at a Westview to drop off a kindergartner, but need help with your middle school kid, anyone can help you get logged in and get you access to your enrollment forms. And now we're in the season of getting ready for our kindergarten roundup. So April 10th at 5 o'clock at each of the elementary schools, we'll have our kindergarten roundup. So with students and parents will have an opportunity at 5 o'clock to visit classrooms and take a look at the cafeteria, check out the bus, check out the school, all those things that ease the worries of the kids, but probably more importantly, ease the worries of the moms and dads and the guardians that bring those kiddos in. So excited to see those new faces on April 10th at our kindergarten roundup. And finally, at your placemat, you will see a packet of all of our summer school offerings. Those went live today. Those are reflective of our recent practice of high school, middle school, and elementary offerings that will provide over the summer. Again, just excited about, if you take a look, it's a packet of opportunities for our kids. Also located in there will be our partnership programs from the Boys and Girls Club, Motivate Our Minds, the YMCA, church partners. All of their summer programming and opportunities are listed in there. So this looks very similar to what it does on the website. So when you go to our website to check out our summer school opportunities, you'll click on high school, middle school, elementary. Is it one click?
Search for summer school, you can click on your grade level, it all opens.
Takes
all the links.
Takes you right to it and gives you all the links for registrations and filling out any forms that you need to. It'll talk about costs and anything associated with the partner programs. All of our programs are free, but some of our partner programs do have some costs. Eric, next, when we start to get teachers lined up and squared away, Eric, we'll talk a little bit about each program at an upcoming board meeting, but we wanted to get this out. Our principals and directors are promoting these. Our summer programs at Camp Adventure, we've already started promoting those and getting kids signed up. And now that after I Read 3 is completed for some of our folks, we're looking at summer school and those opportunities for those folks that didn't pass or are projected not to pass the I Read 3. So excited about all the opportunities.
So any questions for Dr. Reynolds? And I see Camp Adventure Science and Literacy Camp hosted by BSU. I see. I Read 2 Literacy Camp. That's what I was looking for. So that's second graders.
Yep.
Current second graders going to third grade.
Yes.
Correct?
Yep.
Okay. So what are we doing to push these out to parents and caregivers?
Principals are leading that charge, starting with targeted students that are maybe struggling with their reading proficiency. We're going to start with those targeted students and then fill up the classrooms.
Are we also pushing out more generally through our email systems?
Yes. Yep. Through the Parent Square system and our
Parent
principals.
Square.
Yep.
Okay. Any additional questions? Okay. Thank you, Dr. Reynolds. We don't have any public comments. We're on to the consent agenda. Any questions concerning the consent agenda? I want to take a moment and thank Kyle Padgett for 3 years in his role as a teacher and football coach. Coach Padgett brought a lot of pride and energy to his position, and I think was a good hire, and we hate to see him go, but wish him the very best. So, and we have a new teacher from Grissom tonight. Is that Miss Callahan? Hi, how are you? Come on up. Tell us about yourself.
So I'm Katie Callahan. It's nice to meet you guys.
Nice to meet you.
I am graduating from Ball State in May, and I majoring in elementary education, minoring in Spanish, child psychology. A little bit about me. I grew up in the Air Force, so I've moved around a bunch. I'm not just from Indiana. I've lived a bunch of different places. Yeah, I love working with kids. I've worked a bunch as a camp counselor outside. I worked for a summer in the Rocky Mountains at the YMCA there, doing a lot of nature activity with kids. I've worked at the Boys and Girls Club here in Muncie with some pre-K kids, and I love that too. So, yeah.
Well, welcome
you.
to Muncie Community Schools. Did you student teach here?
Yes, I'm student teaching at Grissom in a 4th grade classroom.
Okay, well, so you know the building.
I do, yes.
Do you have any questions for us? You don't have to if you don't.
I didn't have any prepared, to be completely honest, yeah.
What grade are you going to teach?
A primary position. They're still working some things out with teachers, yeah.
Okay. Well, we are just tickled to have you, and we wish you the very best, and congratulations on your graduation from Ball State.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much. Bishop is not here. Shannon Bishop.
I don't believe so.
Okay. Okay, any additional questions concerning the personnel agenda or the consent agenda more generally? If not, we'll entertain a motion to approve. I heard a motion. Do I hear a second? Have a second. All those in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Okay, Mr. Jerome, we've got a permission to advertise the 2025 bond project that follows up our introduction to the topic at the last meeting.
Yes, thank you. Presented in your board packet, we kind of introduced some of the topics last time. We have several urgent needs in the district, and I'm basically asking the school board tonight permission to advertise for 2 upcoming public hearings. The first one, April 22nd, the second one, May 13th, to help introduce the project, talk about the potential cost, the tax rate impact and such, which we're still working on with our attorneys and bond counsels to get that all figured out and be prepared for that meeting. Last time, we talked about some of those urgent needs relating to roof projects, some heating and cooling projects at the field house, some other buildings as well, external doors at Muncie Central. High school, some resurfacing of tennis courts and the track at Muncie Southside, and also replacing some bleachers that are in dire need. So anyway, we'll have more information on that at our public hearing coming up April 22nd, and asking the school board permission to make this advertisement for these public hearings.
Any questions for Mr.
Yeah,
Jerome?
quick question. Does the HVAC at Northside include the chiller?
Yes, it does.
Okay. Are you air conditioning the gym by any chance?
That's a good question. I can't answer that yet, just because I haven't spec'd that one out totally just yet. But that,
They wouldn't know what to do with the new
we would
chiller.
not, no, they would not. We would, the big thing of the project, certainly, the Muncie Field House, we're on a rented boiler for the last 2 years. And that one, we've got to make sure we get that replaced. And that one does include air conditioning. So that would be a first for anyone who's ever sweated through the basketball sectional or graduation or other different events in the field house. So that'd be a first.
Progress.
Any additional questions?
I think it's important to note that we anticipate these to be tax neutral, tax rate neutral. It's work that has to be done, and we can do it without additional taxing.
Yes, it is. Any additional questions, comments, or otherwise? Would entertain a motion to approve the permission to advertise.
Move to approve.
Okay, I'll second it. All those in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Okay, we have, Mr. Grimm, it's my memory that you received the delegation of calendaring.
It's one of your favorites, I know, so.
And I noticed that Dr. Reynolds just ran from it as fast as he could.
Just had a few of those that we discussed today. He's
All
been
right.
happy to shove this way, so.
Yeah,
But
well,
Good evening, Board and Dr. Reynolds, and just a couple things with the calendar. We mentioned this a little bit with last meetings with the current 24-25 calendar. We are going to ask that we move the build-in snow day of May 9th now to April 18th. That was a day where we have multiple subjects of AP testing on May 9th, which would cause some issues with kids coming in and not having school and different things. So we're asking to make that change for this school year. And then also at the same time, we're asking to change the 25-26 calendar, next year's calendar, to remove the 3 built-in snow days on April 3rd, 17th, and May 8th, and add those to the end of the school calendar, May 26th through 28th. That would then change our last student day to May 22nd, which is before Memorial Day. And then the last teacher day would then change to May 26th, right after Memorial Day. So those 2 changes we would motion that you take a look at tonight.
Okay. Any questions regarding the changes to the calendar? So effectively, what you've done is you've taken those 3 days so that you could get an earlier end date.
Yeah, we removed them totally from the 26-27 calendar that we adopted earlier, based on requests from the community and different teachers and students and everybody that were surveyed. So we thought at this time we would also remove it from next year's calendar as well. We haven't used those days the last 2 years. Now, you never know when you're going to use those, but they've not been days that we've needed. So
You know what you've just done, right?
I jinxed this, right?
Yeah, it's going to be like a North Dakota winter here. Okay, well, whatever you guys want to do.
We may be going until July next school year.
Okay. Any questions at all concerning the calendar? Okay. Would entertain a motion to approve that change or those
So
changes. Have a motion. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Moved and seconded. All in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Those same sign. Okay. Who's doing the middle school course of study?
That would be me too. I get to do that one as well. So this one's fairly simple, not as many changes as we saw with the high school adoption with the redesign and all the different changes with seals. The middle school course of study has just a couple brief updates from last school year. One of those is to the dual language program. We've updated that now that we're fully into the middle school. Next year we will have our first cohort of dual language students in 8th grade. So next year at Northside, we will have a 6th, 7th, and 8th grade cohort. So we need to make sure we updated that to make sure that the courses were in there for all of our students in the dual language program. And then we also did add at the end of the middle school packet some information on the high school credit requirements and seals, as well as a sample freshman schedule for our middle schoolers to take a look at of what that will look like at the end of their 8th grade year going into high school.
Any questions regarding the changes to the middle school curriculum? Or course of schedule, course of study, I should say. If not, would entertain a motion to approve those changes.
Move to approve.
Okay. Got a motion, do I hear a second?
Second.
Moved and seconded, all in favor signify by aye. Both same sign. We've got a supplemental curriculum adoption for social studies.
Good evening.
Good evening.
For your consideration, I'd like to put this motion before you. I didn't put this in the memo, but I want to say it out loud. When we were doing our process checks at the middle school, we got a lot of feedback from our social studies educators in both buildings. The last adoption, McGraw-Hill, I think was about 7 years ago. And they indicated that they would like to have some additional resources aligned to the Indiana academic standards that they would have access to. And then that's what precipitated the timeline that you can see here. Was really important that number one, it came from them, that the resource was necessary. And then as you can see, starting in January, we had a cadence of opportunities for review and meetings with our social studies educators. The final recommendation is a resource known as Teachers Curriculum Institute, or TCI. It was overwhelmingly recommended by the social studies educators, and the principals and myself as well did a review. And it's just an online digital suite of primary resources, lesson plans that educators can use that are steeped in just really good pedagogical practices in middle school social studies classrooms, and allows for students to be interactive with Quest. So it's a way to look at the primary resources and to have students engage in some deep critical thinking. And loved the primary resources, as I mentioned before, and also the writing and the writing units. Also, huge plug, vocabulary instruction is heavily aligned to the science of reading and the processes that we continue to put in place at the middle school level. So works really well with Amplify as well.
Okay. Any questions? Any questions at all?
This may be a strange question, I don't know who needs to answer, but under the heading of social studies, is that where we teach all about government?
Absolutely. There's actually
Stress that more.
a newly required course in the last couple of years in the 6th grade level, government, as in addition to the one that's required at the high school.
High
But
school.
high level, and all of Indian academic standards, whether it's 8th grade U.S. history or world history, have an emphasis and focus on civics, on government.
How much primary source material will they see on these digital supplemental
The
materials?
digital supplemental material for TCI is about 50% primary resources. So one of the things that we hope to do over the summer is to work with TCI, who will help to train our social studies educators, and then think about how we're going to update the maps with the primary resources. We do know that one of the critical components of teaching primary resources to kids is to make sure that they can understand what they're reading, they can decode some of those words. Been really proud at the middle school level because we've even brought in our social studies and our science teachers when we're talking about how to dissect multisyllabic words and to think about word roots and some meanings. So sometimes we're really daunted or overwhelmed by using primary resources, but in reality, it just fits seamlessly in with some of the things that we've been doing.
Yeah, and if you wouldn't mind, I would at some point like to see an example.
Absolutely.
Maybe
happy to
a
provide
meeting
that.
in the
Yeah,
next
sure.
6 months or so. Be curious. Any additional questions? Entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
Thank you.
Do I hear a second? Second. All those in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Okay. We are on to dialogue of the board and future recommendations. The only thing I would comment on is Dr. Washburn, Mrs. Barnes-Griffin, Dr. Reynolds, and I went to Atlanta from last Thursday to Sunday to the National School Board Association meetings. And it was an interesting few days with quite a lot of good material. But one of the takeaways that I took from those meetings and sessions was that the work that has been done over the last 7 years or so has put us at the front rank of schools across the nation in terms of where we are with regard to our strategic plan and other items. And we're also facing obviously similar challenges now to the vast majority of other schools. And when people ask, how's Muncie doing? We are at a point where I think we take more steps forward than backwards, but I will tell you that the challenges we face are largely at this point identical to other similarly situated schools, which is a step forward. I know it doesn't always sound that way, but it is certainly a step forward. So I would let Dr. Washburn comment, but that was my takeaway from the sessions.
Yeah, I attended many sessions and felt that we were in a really good place. But I was also heartened to hear that there's many people out there fighting for our kids. So we are not alone in that fight, and there are larger people than us that can lobby and do things like that, and there are people fighting for our kids, and we will continue to do that. But many of the sessions, I was like, oh, attendance, Dr. Reynolds and I attended one on attendance, and I was like, oh, okay, we're doing okay. We're doing okay. So it was very heartening to know that people are out there fighting too with us. Yeah, we're doing good.
Yeah, The Sunday trip back was interesting because the weather was not good in Atlanta, and at about midnight in the Atlanta airport, I felt like Tom Hanks in that movie where he lives in the airport. So
It was the fastest flight I've ever got back from Atlanta.
yeah, it was a quick flight, 54 minutes.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was rough.
It was awesome.
That 737 was shaking most of the way. So.
I slept.
So I don't have anything further. Mr. Klotz, I don't think we have any media inquiries, do we?
I do want to say that the choir that got that gold rating was the one that we did here. That
Oh,
came out.
fantastic.
So it was the
Fantastic.
Oh, awesome.
the same choir.
Fantastic. With that, would entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, signify by aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Thank you all. Have a nice evening.
Good job, Caleb.
Mr. Beasley, I'm